The icy moon was silent as the queen stood tall in her dark silver cloak. Her wounds had healed, her energy was restored. The parasite was gone, but the battle for truth had just begun. Beside her, Aaron stood ready, wearing a fresh uniform given by the queen's guards. He no longer looked like just a field medic. He looked like someone who had survived fire and walked through fear. "I sent a signal to the High Council," the queen said, turning to him. "They agreed to meet, but they still don't trust me." Aaron nodded. "Then we'll make them listen." Larry joined them with 2 guards. "The ship is ready, my queen. We leave when you give the word." The queen's voice was firm. "Then we leave now." The queen's private ship launched into the dark sky, leaving the icy moon behind. The journey to the central Villari capital would take only a few hours through hypertravel. But for Aaron, each minute felt like a quiet storm building. He sat in the medical bay, thinking about everything that had happened. He had saved the queen, fought off attackers, pulled a living parasite from her body with his bare hands. And now he was heading into the heart of alien politics. He smiled slightly. "And I just wanted to help people." The queen entered the room quietly. Her presence filled the space not with power, but calm strength. "You are not afraid?" she asked. Aaron shook his head. "A little, but I believe in the truth." She nodded. "As do I, but they will not make it easy." "Then we'll make it loud." When their ship arrived at the capital docking station, hundreds of eyes watched. Dignitaries, warriors, and council members stood along the platform. Everyone expected to see a queen recovering from illness. Instead, they saw a queen walking tall with a human by her side. Gasps filled the air. Whispers followed them. "He walks beside her. Is that the human? She trusts him?" The queen stopped before the massive golden doors of the council hall. "Let them see," she said. The doors opened. Inside, the High Council waited. 12 leaders of the Villari Empire, dressed in their finest robes, sat in a semicircle. Their faces were cold, their eyes sharp. The queen stepped forward and bowed slightly. "I stand before you not just as your ruler, but as your sister. And I bring the truth you were never meant to forget." One council member stood. "You left your post. You allowed an outsider to touch royal blood." "This is not our way. I did what had to be done," the queen replied. "You call it betrayal. I call it survival." Aaron stepped beside her and held up the sealed box containing the now lifeless parasite. "This infected her. Your doctors couldn't help. But I could, not because I'm special, but because I'm human." The room grew quiet. Another council member frowned. "You expect us to believe a parasite fears your touch?" "No," Aaron said. "I don't expect you to believe me. I expect you to see it with your own eyes." He pressed a button. A hologram appeared, recordings from his medical scanner, showing the red parasite pulsing, then retreating from human contact. The queen stepped forward. "This was not the first time humans helped us. Our history speaks of a time when strangers saved our kind, but you buried that truth." The oldest council member, a woman with silver markings across her forehead, rose slowly. Her voice was calm. "I knew the story," she said. "Long ago, when I was young, but I was told it was myth." "It was not a myth," the queen said. "And this human is the proof." The old counselor looked at Aaron, her gaze softening. "Then perhaps we have been blind." But not all agreed. Suddenly the large door behind them burst open. A group of armored soldiers stormed in, led by one of the same traitors who had attacked them on the ship. "She's lying," he shouted. "She brings a human to rule us." "This is not our way." The queen raised her hand. "Stand down." But the traitor ignored her and pointed a weapon at Aaron. Aaron didn't move. "I'm not your enemy. You are what weakens?" U.S. Before he could fire, a flash of energy knocked the weapon from his hand. The old counselor had raised her hand, her staff glowing. "You will not harm him," she said. "We have seen the truth." Guards rushed in and surrounded the traitors. They were arrested without another word. The queen turned to the council. "We must decide today. Do we continue to fear the help we need, or do we grow stronger by accepting it?" Silence. Then the old counselor stepped forward. "Let it Be recorded. For the first time in Villari history, a human has healed our queen, revealed a forgotten danger, and risked his life for us. I vote to form an alliance. One by one, the council members stood. Alliance, alliance, alliance. Oh. 12 voices rang together. Aaron looked at the queen. She smiled. That evening, a celebration was held in the city's central square. Lights danced in the sky and soft music echoed through the halls. Villari and humans stood side by side, talking, learning, even laughing. Aaron stood quietly by a fountain, watching the stars. The queen walked up beside him. You changed everything. She said, I just used bandages and antiseptic, he replied. She laughed softly. And courage, he turned to her. What happens now? We build something new, she said. A future where healing doesn't depend on species or pride. A future where truth is not hidden. Aaron nodded. Sounds like something worth fighting for. She reached out and gently took his hand. Then stay, help us shape it. He looked into her eyes. I will. From that day forward, the story of the human medic who healed the Villari queen became a symbol, not just of survival, but of unity. And though the stars remained wide and mysterious, one truth became clear to both species. Sometimes, healing begins not with medicine, but with trust. The queen's chamber was silent again, but this time it was a silence filled with tension. The traitors had been removed, but the damage was done. Her personal guards were wounded. Her own energy reserves were low. And most of all, her enemies now knew the truth that a human had touched the royal blood and lived. Aaron sat close to the queen's bed, his hand gently resting on her arm. Her breathing had steadied. The parasite inside her body was still there, but it had weakened after the failed attack. Still, time was running out. They won't stop, Aaron said softly. Even after this, there will be more. The queen nodded slowly. Yes, the old ones fear change. They fear that a human can do what no Villari could. They nearly killed you, he added, shaking his head. And they would have killed me too, but they failed, she whispered. And now you must know everything. She signaled. For her attendant Liari, who brought a small crystal sphere from a hidden drawer in the wall. The queen touched the surface, and a soft blue light filled the room. A holographic image appeared, an ancient scroll written in the Villari language. This is the truth they have buried, the queen said. Long ago, before our empire became powerful, we were attacked by a great sickness. It came from deep space, a living parasite that infected our blood. Our own healers failed. Aaron watched closely as the scroll changed images Villari citizens growing weak, their skin pale, their eyes turning black. We discovered something strange, the queen continued. The parasite could not survive in the presence of one thing human touch. Back then, humans were unknown to us, but one had arrived through a collapsed wormhole. He was captured, then accidentally brought near an infected child. The parasite died instantly. Aaron sat forward, surprised. So it's happened before? Yes, the queen said. But our leaders erased the history. They feared that our people would grow dependent on another species, so they locked away the truth. And now it's happening again, Aaron muttered. The queen nodded. And this time it is worse. The parasite is changing, adapting. I was injured during a battle with rebel forces, but the wound was a trick. A small dart carrying a reborn version of the parasite struck me. Since then I've been weakening. Aaron's heart pounded. Then we need to move. You can't stay here. You're right, the queen said. There are others loyal to me. But they are far from this ship. We must leave. That night, Aaron moved carefully through the ship. The queen had ordered her trusted guards to prepare an escape pod hidden inside the storage bay. Larry walked beside Aaron, guiding him through less traveled paths to avoid attention. You're brave, she said quietly. I'm just doing what's right, he replied. That's what medics do. She smiled faintly. Still, I've never met anyone like you. They reached the queen's chamber again. 2 guards carefully lifted the queen onto a travel platform. Her body was still weak, but her mind remained sharp. Aaron walked beside her as they moved down the empty corridors. Every sound made his heart beat faster. He didn't trust the silence. It felt like something was waiting. At last, they reached the storage bay. A sleek silver pod stood ready, its door open and lights blinking. It was small but fast, designed for emergencies. As the Queen was brought inside, the warning sirens suddenly blared. Unauthorized launch detected. All guards to the lower bay. They found us, Larry gasped. Aaron turned to the two guards. Go, hold them off. The guards drew their weapons and blocked the hallway. Aaron stepped inside the pod and helped strap the Queen in. Larry joined them and closed the door. Hold on, Aaron said, grabbing the control stick. The pod's engines roared. With a sharp jolt, it launched from the bay and shot into space. The stars stretched outside the window like lines of silver. We made it, Larry whispered. Not yet, Aaron said, looking at the tracking screen. They'll follow us? The Queen opened her eyes slowly. Set a course for the outer moons. There is a base there. Loyal allies wait. Aaron nodded and entered the coordinates. A few hours later, the pod reached a hidden base located deep inside an icy moon. It was old but protected. A group of Valari guards, wearing the symbol of the Queen's true crest, stood waiting. When they saw her, they bowed deeply. My Queen, one said. We thought we had lost you. Not yet, she whispered. But we must act quickly. Aaron helped her into the medical room of the base. This time, it wasn't filled with glowing alien tools. The Queen had insisted that human methods continue. He placed her on a human-designed stretcher and checked her wound. The parasite had grown quieter, almost still. It's weakening more each day, he said. Then we must finish it, she replied. Remove it, Aaron looked at her. You're sure? It could be dangerous. I trust you, she said. More than anyone. Aaron took a deep breath and prepared for the final treatment. He used the same techniques as before: human tools, careful touch, simple medicine. But now he added something new. He had discovered that a small electric pulse caused the parasite to detach slightly. As he worked, the Queen closed her eyes. Sweat formed on her brow. Her body trembled. Then suddenly a thin red thread pushed out from the wound. It curled like smoke, twitching. Alive. Aaron reached out with metal tongs and grabbed it. The parasite fought back, sending a shock of pain through the Queen's body. Her eyes snapped open. Aaron, I've got it, he shouted, holding the parasite tight. He dropped it into a sealed containment box. The red light inside it dimmed. The parasite stopped moving. Silence. The Queen's body stopped shaking. Her eyes closed peacefully. Aaron checked. Her pulse was strong. Her breathing normal. She's stable, he said quietly. Liari stood at the door, eyes wide with hope. You did it. Aaron looked at the Queen and smiled. We did it. Later, the Queen woke up on her own. Her skin had regained its glow. The energy around her was calm and balanced. You're free, Aaron said. The Queen sat up, slowly but firmly. Yes, thanks to you. What now? He asked. Now we return, she said. But not to hide. We go to the council. We show them the truth. They might not listen. Then we make them, she said, with strength in her voice. Aaron nodded. I'll go with you. She looked at him warmly. Good, because I'm not letting you go. The Valari warship floated silently through deep space. From the outside, it looked calm and peaceful. But inside, hidden tension was growing. Aaron sat in his assigned quarters, staring at the data he had gathered. His portable scanner, though simple, had picked up something strange in the Queen's blood. There was an energy signature pulsing around the wound, a living presence, one that responded to touch, heat, and motion. It's not just a parasite, he whispered to himself. It's intelligent. He tapped a few commands into his scanner. The image on the small screen showed red lines wrapping around each blood cell like tiny claws. But something else caught his eye when he replayed the moment he applied the antiseptic. The red lines loosened. They actually retreated. His human treatment didn't just help. It scared the parasite. Across the ship, in a dark chamber beneath the main deck, a meeting was taking place. 5 Valari stood in silence around a table shaped like a blade. All of them wore deep purple cloak, symbol of the ancient guard. The Queen has lost her judgment, one of them said. She allows a human to live among us. Worse, she trusts him. He touched her, another added. That alone breaks our laws. The parasite is dangerous, said the third. But if the human can fight it, then we should capture him and use him, interrupted a fourth. No, the fifth said coldly. He knows too much. The queen speaks to him in private. She tells him things meant only for the royal circle. What do you suggest? We remove him, quietly, before the queen grows stronger. They all nodded. The plan had begun. That same night, Aaron returned to the queen's chamber with more supplies. She was awake, seated beside a tall window that showed the stars moving past. You came again, she said. Of course, Aaron replied. I found something new. He sat down beside her and pulled out the scanner. The queen leaned closer. As the image appeared, a moving picture of her own infected blood. This is the parasite, he explained. It hides by wrapping itself around your cells. But when I used human treatment, it backed away. The queen frowned. So it fears you. Maybe not me, Aaron said. But something in human biology or human energy. She nodded slowly. Then we may have hope, but we must act before it spreads. Aaron leaned back. There's something else. I think someone is watching me. The queen didn't look surprised. They fear what you've done. They fear what I've allowed. In their minds, I have broken the sacred laws. And if they come after me? Then they'll have to go through me, she said firmly. Aaron gave a tired smile. I'm just a medic. I never wanted to be part of something like this. She looked at him for a long moment. And yet here you are. Later that evening, Aaron walked back to his quarters. The hallways were dim and the usual guards were missing. His footsteps echoed strangely against the metallic floor. Suddenly he heard a soft sound behind him, a quick step. He turned fast. No one was there. He kept walking, but now he was alert. A shadow moved near the wall. A figure stepped out tall, silent, dressed in purple armor. Two more appeared behind him. Aaron froze. Can I help you? You are not welcome here, one of them said, voice cold. You should have never touched the queen. Aaron slowly reached into his medical bag, gripping the stun device he had hidden there. He wasn't a fighter, but he had prepared just in case. I was only doing my job, he said. You are a threat. And threats must be removed. The first guard lunged forward. Aaron ducked, rolling to the side, and pressed the stun device to the guard's leg. A blue spark jumped, and the guard dropped with a groan. The other two advanced quickly. Aaron ran. He turned into a narrow hallway, his boots hitting the floor fast. Lights flickered above him. He reached a sealed door and slammed the emergency button. It opened just in time, and he dove inside. The door shut behind him, but he wasn't safe. The room was dark. As his eyes adjusted, he realized where he had landed. It was a secret archive. Old records, symbols, and data crystals floated in protective shields. In the center of the room was something glowing. He stepped closer. It was an old recording, clearly Valari, but damaged and flickering. The figure on the screen was another. Queen, older, darker, speaking in a soft voice. Aaron touched the console, and the translation began. If the parasite returns, remember only those outside our bloodline can fight it. The cure lies in the hands of the strangers. Aaron's eyes widened. This wasn't new. The queen had known the truth. But others had hidden it. The door behind him opened again. Liari, the queen's young attendant, rushed in. Come quickly, the queen is in danger. Aaron ran without asking questions. Back in the royal chamber, the queen stood alone, her guards fallen. The purple-cloaked attackers were approaching her with long, energy-tipped spears. She was too weak to fight. You brought this on yourself? One of them said. You betrayed our kind. The queen lifted her chin. I brought hope. One guard raised his spear. Just before it hit, Aaron charged in and tackled the attacker to the ground. The weapon clattered across the floor. Another guard grabbed Aaron, but the queen used her last strength to launch a wave of energy, throwing him back. More loyal guards arrived. The battle was short. The traitors were captured. The queen collapsed. Aaron caught her before she hit the ground. You'll be okay. Her breathing was shallow. You came back. Of course, he whispered. I said I'd protect you. Later, the queen rested in a sealed medical room. Aaron sat beside her again, exhausted but calm. Her heartbeat was strong now. The parasite was weakening. It had been pushed back even more by the stress of the energy burst, and by his touch. The queen opened her eyes slowly. They tried to end us. But they failed, Aaron said. You are no longer just a medic, she said softly. You are part of our future. He didn't reply, just held her hand gently. In the shadows of space, something new was beginning. A bond between two species, a chance for healing. A reason to hope. The room was silent except for the gentle hum of the alien machines. The Queen of Valari lay resting, her silver-blue skin now calm, though her body was still weak. Her eyes were closed, but her breathing had improved since the human medics. Treatment. Aaron sat on a bench beside the healing bed, staring at the strange medical tools surrounding him. None of them made sense to him. He was trained with human equipment, bandages, scanners, basic stabilizers. The technology here looked like something out of a dream. It floated. It glowed. And yet none of it had been able to help her. Only his human hands had worked. A soft voice broke the silence. Why are your fingers so steady, even in fear? Aaron looked up. The queen was watching him now. Her voice was stronger than before. Though still low, he gave a small, tired smile. I've treated soldiers in worse conditions. Fear doesn't help. Focus does. You are not like the others, she said, eyes never leaving his. Most humans I've seen are loud, proud, but you are quiet, like water flowing around stone. Aaron shifted in his seat, unsure how to respond to that. I just do my job. I'm a medic. I save people. Doesn't matter what planet they're from. The queen studied him for a moment. Then she slowly sat up, despite the doctors motioning her to lie back down. You touched my blood, she said softly. And yet you still breathe. That is rare, Aaron frowned. What do you mean? My kind, she explained, carry energy in our blood raw, unstable. Even other Valari must wear protective shields to avoid damage. You touched it with? No protection and lived. Aaron looked at his hand, still faintly red from the contact. He hadn't felt any pain, just warmth. Maybe I got lucky. Perhaps, the queen replied. Or perhaps your species is different. Just then, the main door opened and several alien officials entered. They wore golden robes and had serious expressions on their long faces. One of them stepped forward and bowed. My queen, he said, we beg you to reconsider. Let the royal healers continue the treatment. This human cannot stay. The queen raised her hand slowly. He will stay. But he is under my protection, she said firmly. And he is not to be touched. The room went quiet again. Aaron stood up. Look, I don't want trouble. If you want me to leave, just say so. The queen turned to him. No, I still need you. This is not only about wounds. It is about truth. The officials looked uneasy but obeyed. They bowed and left the room. Later, Aaron was given a private room in the guest section of the ship. It was clean, quiet, and filled with strange floating lights. He placed his small medical kit on a nearby table and sat down on the soft alien chair. His thoughts were spinning. Why had the queen chosen him? What was really going on? The door opened again. This time, a young female Valari entered. She looked different from the others, less formal, more curious. You are the human medic, she said softly. Yes, Aaron replied, standing up. And you are? I am Liari, she said, royal attendant. The queen asked me to bring you food. She placed a tray on the table. Strange fruits, glowing liquids, and something that looked like cooked meat, but it had no smell. Aaron gave a polite smile. Thank you. As she turned to leave, she paused. You should be careful, human. Not all here welcome your presence. Aaron's smile faded. I figured, but I'm not here to cause problems. She nodded and left. The next day, Aaron was called back to the queen's chamber. She was sitting up now, wearing a dark royal robe. Her wounds were healing fast. A small smile touched her lips when she saw him. You returned? You still need care, Aaron replied, and answers. She nodded. Yes. Sit. Aaron sat beside her again. I will tell you a secret, the Queen said slowly. One that could change everything. He listened carefully. There is something inside me, she whispered. A wound, yes, but also a curse. A parasite created by my enemies. It hides inside the blood, feeding on energy. It blocks our healing. It cannot be touched by Valari hands. Aaron's eyes widened. But I touched it, she nodded. Yes. And the parasite weakened. That is why I knew. Only a human could help me. Aaron sat back, processing her words. Then I didn't just heal you, I heard it. Yes, she said. And now it knows you. Aaron's chest tightened. That doesn't sound good. No, the Queen agreed. It is not. Suddenly an alarm beeped on the wall. The lights turned blue. A voice spoke in the Valari language, fast and urgent. The Queen stood slowly. Trouble comes. My enemies move faster than expected. Aaron stood too. What should I do? You stay close to me now, she said. If they know you're alive and that you touched the parasite, they will come for you, Aaron sighed. I didn't sign up for this. The Queen gave him a strange look. Perhaps not. But fate rarely asks for permission. Elsewhere, on the ship, a group of high-ranking Valari were gathered in secret. They spoke in hushed tones. She protects the human. That cannot be allowed? He knows too much. The Queen grows weak. We must act before it is too late. One of them nodded. Begin the plan. Remove the human, quietly. Back in the Queen's chamber, Aaron helped her sit down again. Her breathing was steady, but she still looked tired. I need more time to understand the parasite, he said. I think human medicine can help remove it, but I'll need to test. Do what you must, the Queen said. I trust you. Aaron nodded, but inside he felt a growing worry. He had come here only to help someone survive. Now he was part of something far bigger, something dangerous. He looked at the Queen, still proud even in weakness, and he made a silent promise. He would protect her, not just as a medic, but as a human. The Valari warship floated in the dark space above the battlefield. It was huge, like a silver fortress drifting among stars. Inside, alarms rang across every hallway, lights blinked red. Crew members shouted orders and ran to their stations. Something terrible had just happened. In the command chamber. Several tall alien officers stood around a large control panel. Their faces were tight with fear. The battle on the planet below had taken a deadly turn. The Valari Queen, their ruler, was injured. Bring her to the royal chamber, one of the officers ordered. No one else is allowed to see her until the healers arrive. The doors burst open and a group of royal guards rushed in. Between them, they carried a stretcher. On it lay the Queen of Valari herself. Her pale silver-blue skin was smeared with blood, and one of her arms hung limp. Her long hair, usually perfect and glowing with power, now clung to her face. She was breathing, but barely. She's losing too much energy, one guard said, panic in his voice. The guards placed her carefully on the royal healing platform. It was a circular bed surrounded by advanced medical tools. The Valari were known for their science, and this room was designed to heal almost any injury. But something was wrong. The medical bots moved in, scanning her body. Lights blinked. A female alien doctor stepped forward with a group of nurses. My Queen, the doctor said softly, we must begin healing now. The Queen opened her eyes slowly. Her voice was weak but clear. No, do not touch me. The doctor blinked. My Queen? No one, she whispered. No Valari must touch me. Bring me, the human medic. Gasps filled the room. Even the machines seemed to pause. A human? The doctor asked, her voice rising. But why? That is impossible. Humans are not trained for, I said, bring him. The Queen snapped. Then her eyes closed again, and she passed out from the pain. On a planet far from the battlefield, a human field medic named Aaron was patching up a soldier's leg. The camp was small and hidden in the hills, away from the main fighting zone. Aaron had seen enough blood for a lifetime. He wasn't a fighter. He only wanted to save lives. Hold still, he told the soldier, wrapping a bandage tight. You'll be okay. Suddenly, 3 tall armored aliens landed in front of him. Their ship was loud and fast. Aaron stood up, confused and tense. Are you Aaron, human medic? One of them asked. Yes, Aaron replied slowly. Why? You must come with us, now. Before he could argue, they grabbed his medical bag and pulled him toward the ship. The other soldiers watched in shock as Aaron disappeared into the sky. The journey was fast. Within an hour, Aaron was brought aboard the giant Velari warship. He had never seen anything like its strange, glowing walls, floating orbs of light, and alien technology far beyond human understanding. The guards didn't speak to him. They just led him through long corridors until they reached a sealed door, guarded by two tall warriors. This is the Queen's chamber, one of them said. She asked for you. Only you, Aaron blinked. Wait, the Queen? Before he could ask anything else, the door opened and he was pushed inside. The room was quiet and dim. In the center, the Queen lay on a raised healing bed. Her skin was pale, and her chest moved slowly. Machines were scanning her, but nothing seemed to be working. Several alien doctors stood around her, but they stepped back as soon as they saw Aaron. The chief doctor pointed at him. You're human, she asked for you. Do whatever you must, but remember, if she dies, so do you? Aaron gulped. No pressure. Right? He walked slowly toward the Queen. She looked more peaceful now, but her arm was badly burned, and her side had a deep, strange wound. It didn't look like a normal injury. It pulsed faintly with a red glow. Aaron opened his bag and took out his basic tools: bandages, antiseptic spray, a scanner, and some stabilizers. He didn't know if any of this would work, but he had to try. He gently touched the Queen's wrist. She opened her eyes and looked at him. You came, she said softly. Yes, Aaron replied. I'll help you. Just stay still. He cleaned the wound carefully. The alien blood hissed as it touched the antiseptic, but she didn't scream. She only watched him closely, like she was trying to understand him. This is strange, he said, more to himself than to her. This injury doesn't react like anything I've seen before. It is not a normal wound, she whispered. It is a curse. Aaron frowned. A curse? Made by my enemies. Our medicine cannot fight it, but human hands. Human methods, they still have power. Aaron didn't fully understand, but he nodded. He used a cold compress to stop the inner swelling. He stitched carefully, not with machines, but with steady fingers. It took time. Sweat ran down his forehead. The Queen remained silent, her body trembling slightly. After an hour, the bleeding stopped. The glow from the wound dimmed the machines. Scanned her again. This time, the reading was different, stable. The doctors looked at the screens in shock. Her condition. It's improving. Aaron stepped back, exhausted. I did what I could. But she needs rest now. Don't touch the wound. Let her body accept the treatment. The Queen reached out weakly and touched Aaron's hand. You did well, human, Aaron nodded. You're going to live. But you should tell me why you really needed me. This was no accident. She looked at him, eyes filled with something. Between pain and knowledge. Because, she said softly, you are part of something we do not understand yet. But soon, the stars will know.